back. Joining us in the studio for Lifestyle Strategy Team is Hayoung. Hayoung, hello to you.
Happy Tuesday, everyone. Hi, SJ. How's your week going?
How come every time you say hi, it seems so fake?
Kashik.
It's so kashik.
It's called kashik in Korean.
It's not gossip girl. It's like kashik girl.
Kashik girl.
Why does it seem so fake?
SJ.
It's because you're doing too much television. That's why.
No. It's because I'm a mom.
Does that show?
Mom should act in front of their kids.
That's kind of true
yeah, even when they're exhausted.
Are you on that show?
Like they're happy.
Culture Dive.
Called K Culture Dive.
They changed the name again?
No, just one time.
Oh, it's K Culture Dive.
It used to be the Culture Wave, and now it's K Culture Dive.
So you went from this. You have to do this now. Do they make you do that stuff?
No.
Hi, welcome to K Culture Dive.
Are you a fan of Soa?
No, can I be honest with you? I've never watched it.
You should.
But I don't watch
We always
television.
talk about you, SJ.
Why are you going to talk about... No, you didn't. Not on the... No way. Don't talk about me
You
on
should
the show.
watch and figure out.
Don't talk about me on the show. Don't talk about me on the show. Don't do it.
SJ, superstar.
Don't do it. No, I'm not a superstar.
The next BTS.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it. She said it.
In 2056.
2056, I'm not even sure if I'm going to be alive, so I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, today we got a fun topic, guys. Real fun.
Yes.
Let's talk about family planning. As you guys know, Korea's birth rate has always been in the news. Declining birth rate, all that stuff. Although that number is going up recently.
Yeah, slightly.
It's slightly going up, but still it's far less than what we need right now. People's attitude towards marriage, children have changed a lot over the years as well. I mean, let's talk about some of the differences that you've noticed over the years.
Oh, well, they really have changed a lot. If we go back just one or two generations, getting married and having children were almost seen as like a package deal.
Yes.
In Korea, for many people, having children wasn't viewed as a personal choice. It was simply the next after...
You don't even think about it.
Yeah, next step after marriage. And of course, every family was different, but generally speaking, there was a strong social expectation that married couples would eventually become parents. So it wasn't really something people discussed or negotiated in the way they do today. And also, since many couples simply assumed that children would naturally become part of their lives, in the past, there was also a lot of pressure from relatives or older family members. Questions like, when are you going to have a baby? Or when are you planning for a second child? Were extremely common. But those questions are becoming less acceptable these days. You should not ask those kind of questions. Many younger Koreans now consider those questions to be quite personal and not appropriate, even rude. It's like crossing the line.
It's weird, right? Because it was a given back in the days. I think even when I don't know, are we now in a different generation? Are we part of a different generation? Because I certainly didn't think about it, and I hate to put it this. I don't know how you feel. You want the kids.
I want it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've always thought, and you guys can think I'm a little bit weird, but I've always said if I didn't want kids, what's the point of getting married?
Oh.
Right?
Yes.
Because if, let's say, and I respect everyone who wants...
So you got married to your wife just to have a kid?
No, not just to have a kid.
I'm just kidding.
Not just to have a kid. I'm going to tell her that. Not just to have a kid, but I just thought it was part of the package.
Yes.
And so I respect people who say they want to get married but not have kids.
It was so natural.
It was so just natural, right? We were raised that way. And so I'm just kind of I wouldn't have gotten married if I didn't want kids. But I respect others that get married and don't want kids.
Many young people have different perspectives these days. And part of the reason is that I think family planning has become much more diverse. So not everyone follows the same path anymore. So they have many different options these days, I think. Some couples want several children like us. Some prefer to have only one child. Some decide not to have children at all. And some people may be facing private circumstances that others don't know about.
Yes.
So there's a growing awareness that these topics should be approached with more sensitivity and respect.
Yeah, even I think
environmental issues.
Say
can affect.
You've been to our house, you've hung out with us. And so like it's weird because now our family, like my wife and I, we only now seem to be hanging out with people who have kids. And the reason for that is we've had couples that don't have kids, but we don't know what they're going through. We don't know if they chose not to have a child or something is happening. And there was a couple of times where I really thought they were just like dink.
That's right. That's
they were
right.
dink. They're not dinks. It was because of health reasons.
Yeah.
And so because it's like a very sensitive thing and they want kids so badly but they can't, and like we got 2 kids running around, it just seems bad. So like you tend to hang out with people with couples
so you
and
should
stuff
not
like
ask
that.
those personal questions until they share their own stories first.
Yeah, yeah. So you have to be very cautious with that stuff. You didn't have to. I don't. This could be a little bit too personal. You had honeymoon baby.
Yes.
And that's great. So you never had to have relatives go like, when are you going to give me babies? Never.
No. And they secretly wanted a boy.
And that's the other thing. But then they got a boy.
Yeah. And
there was a static.
The first one is boy. So, yeah.
There
I was
were
like
ecstatic.
A+ daughter-in-law.
My wife and I welcomed our son, Aaron, like maybe a few years after we got married. So we got married in 2016.
Yes, it's normal. Yeah, having like 2 to 3 years.
No, but we were trying. But it just wasn't happening. But then like my parents wanted to ask, but they couldn't.
Oh.
Right?
Yes.
Because they're like, oh, maybe they just want to like enjoy their honeymoon, whatever. But that wasn't the case. And they were very, and then after Aaron was born.
They never asked directly.
Never.
Oh.
Never asked. And then once, my wife was pregnant, then there's, my mom was kind of like, oh, we were kind of worried you didn't want kids or something like that.
Oh, okay. I see.
But because there are more people like this.
Yeah.
So it does sound like family planning has become much more individualized than it used to
right.
be. But what are some of the biggest changes we're seeing amongst the younger generation?
Well, since it's not like always natural to have a kid after marriage, couples often have long conversations before they even get married. They talk about whether they want children in the first place, when they might have them, and how many children they would like to raise. And one noticeable change is the increase in one-child families. For many parents, having one child feels like the right balance for their lifestyle. They may think like, oh, if we decide not to have a child at all, we might end up regretting it later on, but 2 is too much, so 1 sounds fair enough. And at the same time, we're also hearing more conversations about couples who choose not to have children, like we said, which we are going to dive deeper into part 3. And many people are familiar with the term DINK now, which stands for double income, no kids. The concept itself isn't entirely new, but it's certainly much more visible and openly discussed than it was in the past. And again, what's interesting is that younger generations tend to view these decisions as personal lifestyle choices rather than something that should be judged by others or older generations or even their own parents.
Like, oh, my goodness. Do you think there's like a timeline when couples can actually talk about whether or not they want kids? Because, it's not like, let's say you have sogeting and you meet them for the first time, how many kids you want? You don't bring that up, right?
No.
But you can you could say
When
things
they
like,
start talking about like marriage, yeah.
but can you say things like, do you like kids?
No, you can't ask them like directly, but like it would be wonderful if we can have a son or daughter who
So this is
looks after like takes after you.
This is when you are born out though, right?
Yes.
Like, but do you have to be talking about marriage to talk about this?
If you are sure about the marriage, yeah, why not?
How? Oh, I was going to ask a personal.
What? Rated R question?
It's not a rated R. I was going to say, have you had these talks with your ex-boyfriend?
Ex-boyfriends? Oh, not really, because we never. I was not that serious with my ex-boyfriend.
No, because for me, there was a couple of times was deal breakers.
Oh.
I met one who didn't want kids. But luckily, it was when I was like really young and like not really thinking about marriage or anything like that. The other girlfriend, it was like later on when I was thinking about marriage, but she was like, I want 4 kids. two of them of our own and two of them adopted. And I was like, I was like, can I ask you why you want them, adopted kids?
But life doesn't go according to your plan.
No, but then like she was like, oh, I want to help these kids out, give them a second chance, and that's beautiful. But 4 kids, do you know how much money that's gonna take? And I was like, is this like a serious thing? Like, are you just drunk right now? Or just because, we were drinking? I was like, are you drunk or is this for real? And she said, it's real.
But I think if you are not planning to have a child at all, I think you should let your boyfriend or girlfriend should know about it. Because,
you have to.
Yeah, you have to.
Yes.
Because what if you find out that your partner doesn't want a kid?
Or they want
in the
a
first
kid,
place?
but you don't.
Yeah, but you
Right.
don't, right? After marriage. It's
Exactly.
more problematic.
I'm telling you, it's a lot of talks that we need to go. And again,
Yes.
another thing that surprises many foreigners is that in Korea, even having 2 children
Yes.
can now qualify as a family.
Multi-child family.
다자녀 가구, right? It used to be 3.
Yes. Traditionally, when people heard the phrase large family, they might imagine like 3, 4, or even 5 children. But because Korea's birth rate has fallen so significantly, many government programs now classify families with 2 or more children as multi-child families. So, yeah, in a way, that shows how much Korean society has changed. And it also reflects the idea of what a typical family looks like is
Yeah.
evolving.
Exactly. So now we're both, Seong and I, we're
Yeah, we
both
both
considered
falls
다자녀
in this
가구, right?
category,
And we
yes.
get some benefits and stuff like that. Anyways, we'll continue to talk about planning for a child here in Korea, all the discussions that go and all the stress that goes into it. But first, let's take a listen to a song from B1A4 with 아이처럼 Like a Child. Back in the studio with Taeyang talking about lifestyle strategy team and planning for kids. We got messages coming from our listeners out there. Disobedient Space Whale over in Newcastle says a lot of pressure to be the perfect parent these days. I feel sad my family line will die out with me as I have no kids. It's like I'm an honorary Asian elder. Haha. Well, Mark, it's not too late. It's not too late. Bahar over in Switzerland says, I think it's completely normal to ask this in your 30s. I think so. Once, serious
Yes.
relationship and stuff like that.
Yes.
Disobedient Space Whale says, 4 kids in this economy? Well, this was like 15 years ago, like 14 years ago that I had this discussion. Crash Override over in Michigan says, 4 kids means 4 college funds. Well, not really. Maybe some of the kids don't go to college. That's a possibility.
Yeah, but in Korea, most of students just decide to go to college. So 4 kids means 4 college fund. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Maybe that makes sense.
that you have to assume, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like then they could, but you can't. You have to assume that's a lot of money.
Right.
But college is not as expensive as in the United States, so it's a little bit more affordable. Seong, once a couple decides they may want children someday. What kind of conversations usually happen next? Because I don't remember, like, it just like...
자기야, maybe it's time for us to think about having a kid.
No, you don't say that before you get married. No, okay, wait.
No,
It's after you get married?
Yes, after.
It's after you get married you have this talk?
No, after or before, both.
No, I think it happens before. Again, it could be a deal breaker.
Yes, yeah.
It's when you know that you're going to get married to this person that you start thinking about.
But yeah, let's say it's after marriage.
Okay.
On top of the questions like when should we have them or how many, they also ask, will both of us continue working after having kids? And perhaps most importantly, can we realistically manage it, like financially? In some ways, modern family planning can feel surprisingly practical. That's interesting because when people hear the phrase like family planning, they often think about emotions, values, or like dreams. But it sounds like there are also many practical considerations. For many couples, career planning is one of the biggest factors. It was my case too. For example, they may consider like upcoming promotions, job changes, or major career opportunities before deciding when to have a child. And this is especially true for dual income households, which are very common in Korea today. And many couples try to choose a time that minimizes disruptions to both partners' careers.
Yeah, I think there was like, even for myself, there was an opportunity that was sent this way, big money, but it was overseas. Big money, though. Big money, very good opportunity. But there was no way that I was going to take my kids there, to a different country. And so I said, no, I can't.
Unless they offer housing and everything.
Well,
Tuition.
it used to be that they used to offer international school there, but now they don't anymore because they changed the laws there for international schools. So I said, well, we can't do that anymore. So
it's a big part
had
of
to give it up.
consideration. Yeah.
Had to give it up.
And parental leave is also part of that conversation. Couples often discuss whether parental leave is available without like 눈치 봐, like worrying about what others think or feeling
Your husband took parental leave.
for a year legally, how long they can take it and when it would be best to use it. But it's not only about official policies. Workplace culture can also play an important role. People may wonder how their absence will affect their team, their responsibilities, or even their future career opportunities after they come back. So family planning often becomes closely connected to career planning as well for both partners.
I didn't know it was like this strict because again, like I'm a freelancer, so it's a little bit different. But like I know one of my son's classmates, like they didn't have a child. They were married for about 10 years before they got their kid. And I was like, why'd you take so long? I was like, can I ask why like it took so long? He was like, oh, like we really love traveling. And we wanted to travel. And then, you know, after 10 years, we planned and got our child.
Wow.
And it's
They were lucky.
It's the husband that's staying home.
Oh.
And so they had to talk. They said, we want one child because of the age. And number two, because the wife had a pretty good job, pays pretty well, and she wants to continue to go up the corporate ladder. She said, I want you to take care of the kids, and he's happy to do so. But I was like, man, that's some serious stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He gave up his career, basically career, so that she could have a career and have a child.
It's more about like personalities and characteristics. So maybe woman wants to go out and work, and man prefers staying home and taking care of children. You know,
I'm not sure. I don't know if he prefers. I don't know if he prefers, but they thought that was the best thing for the child.
Yes.
So you have to respect that, right? But besides work, saying like, what other factors do Korean couples think about before having children?
Well, one major factor is support from grandparents. This may sound surprising to some of our listeners, but grandparents often play very, very significant role in childcare in Korea because many parents work full time. Having family members nearby can make a huge difference. And as a result, some couples even consider where they will live based on whether grandparents might be able to help. And so married couples, in many cases, wives, moms, ask themselves these kind of questions like, do we live near my parents? If not, do we at least live near my husband's parents, parents-in-law? Or will they be available to help occasionally? This kind of questions can become important parts of family planning discussions.
Yeah, I think, you know, the only reason why we made it possible for my mom to live with us is because we have a young
She's
kid.
a great help, right?
Yeah, she's a big help, and she kind of spoils my daughter, and that becomes a problem later on too. But
And she keeps on nagging.
yeah, like, nagging at me. That's the
At
other
you.
thing. But it's part of it. Was part of it, right?
Yes. And, yeah.
And
go
also,
ahead.
like, we can't talk about family planning without mentioning the education costs.
Education cost.
And that's something that people often hear about when discussing parenting and parenting in Korea.
Yes, education expenses are definitely one of the concerns many couples discuss. Parents naturally want to provide opportunities for their children, and education is often seen as a very important investment in Korea. But at the same time, as a mom of two kids, I'd like to add a little personal perspective here. Sometimes people become so worried about future education costs that they being questioned whether they can afford to have children at all. Of course, every family situation is different and financial planning is important. But in my experience, raising children doesn't like automatically require spending enormous amounts of money on education right away, right?
Seong, your son is going to elementary school when next year?
Next year. And I will change my opinion right away.
No, you are.
Maybe.
No, you know what the crazy thing is?
No, you're sending your kid to too many hagwons. After school academies.
But it wasn't our choice. It wasn't my wife and I's choice. It was my son's choice. He wanted to go to English Academy.
Yes.
He's going to football academy. He's doing piano and drums. He's doing kendo. He's doing...
All because he wants to go, right?
There's only one studying academy that he goes to. But then the problem I heard, like at least for him, it's things he wants to do. For other kids, they want to go to places that their friends go to.
That's right.
And so it's hard to say no.
Peer pressure, yeah.
I mean, you can't say
But
no.
I think still how much families spend can vary greatly depending on their values, priorities.
Yeah.
And it's not like you have to send them, right?
No.
To hagwons, right? That's your choice. It's optional. Well, it's optional.
No, it is no, it's definitely optional at a young age.
Yes,
At the young age, it's definitely optional.
When they go to middle school, high school, maybe things will change greatly. So, what I want to say is, if future education cost is the only reason you that you gave up on having a child, I would gently encourage them to reconsider their plans.
Yeah, I don't think that should be the only reason why, right? Because it's like peanuts compared to some of the other things.
Right.
Anyways, we'll continue to talk about family planning here in Korea. Whoa, this is nowadays. Every time I see 3, I get traumatized. This is Mama Moo.
Are you
with
having a
no
child?
way, no way. This is Mama Moo with 하나 둘 셋 어이 1 2 3 어이. Yeah, I'm having like the weirdest conversation with Taeyong. Sometimes I wish like Arirang had like Arirang Radio Premium.
I know.
When you pay more to listen to all the behind the scenes stuff, and it's like uncensored. Like Arirang, we should yes, including you guys are getting free 18.5 rated 18.5 The premium version goes 19 and above. It's probably not even 19. It's like 30.
If you decide to have a third child,
Yes.
I'll think about it too.
Think about you.
Having another one.
That's so weird. That's so weird.
You go first. You go first.
No way.
You
No
go
way.
first,
No,
SJ.
what we were talking about was that, like, you know, with our kids, sometimes our kids start asking for another sibling.
Second one.
Yes.
Oh, in
Well-
your case, Aaron.
Right.
First one. Yes.
So Aaron was like, I want another sibling. And I said, Aaron,
Oh,
you're grounded.
you're still young,
You're
SJ.
grounded. Now I'm old. But then Aaron takes that back when Roha bothers him, and he goes, "No, I don't want a younger sibling anymore."
But Roha, she wants a
She
sibling,
likes
right?
babies because she's at the phase where she thinks babies are cute, but she's not going, "I want a sibling," because
Imagine her playing with little sister.
that
or
girl is gonna
brother,
beat up
baby.
whatever little sibling she has. I don't know what you're talking about. That girl is cray. She's not like Aaron.
Fighting.
She's not like
Jay.
Aaron. No. We have 2. We're happy with 2. But let's start with the one-child families, okay?
Okay,
We're gonna talk about like different situations here.
Sure.
Why do many Koreans couples choose to have only one child?
Well, having one child feels like the right balance for some families. With one child, parents can often devote more time, attention, and resources, including money, to that child. Some families also feel that having one child allows them to maintain more flexibility in their daily lives. Travel may be easier,
Yep.
schedules may be simpler, and financially there can be less pressure. So for many couples, having one child is not necessarily a second best option. It's a deliberate choice that works well for their family.
Yeah, I think there is probably a lot more things that we could have done as a family
Yes.
without kid number 2.
Oh, don't say that.
But no.
Ruha is listening.
But no, she's not. But that sacrifice is going to be worth it later on
yeah,
when she grows up.
rewarding, yes.
And, you know, look, I mean, they grow up eventually.
Yeah.
And we don't have to worry about that. And then there are families with multiple children. We have multiple children.
Yes.
And luckily, you know, boy and girl,
Yeah.
which is great. And was that part of your plan, though?
Well, when I got married, I always assumed I would have children someday, but I didn't expect it to happen like right away at the time. I had only recently started building my broadcasting career here at Arirang, and my husband and I thought we would enjoy married life for a while before becoming parents, but life doesn't always go according to plan. So I became pregnant much sooner than expected and became a mother. And after my son was born, there were definitely moments when I wondered whether one child might be enough. To be honest, raising a young child while working was physically exhausting. There were days when I felt completely drained. So for quite a long time, I seriously considered stopping at just one.
Didn't Didn't you have like really bad morning sickness too?
Oh, it was
right?
terrible. It
Because
was
I remember like you
terrible.
really suffering from that.
Yes.
So, but
I almost died.
the funny thing is you forgot.
I forgot. No, I remember, but I think it's worth like suffering.
Really?
Morning sickness. Yeah.
Because with my
Because
wife,
joy
it was
from
different.
the kid is greater, much greater.
Because with my wife, it was the other way around. She didn't have any morning sickness, and she was like, "This is
She
not
ate
bad."
well.
Yeah, she was like, "Not bad." And then the second
Second
kid
one-
was so bad.
Oh my goodness.
So she's like, "Oh, never again, never again, right? Never again." So it's some people like they go through such a bad first pregnancy that
Yes,
they don't
mine
want a
was
child
terrible.
anymore. But again, this is all that many parents can relate to. But like, what made you decide? Okay, I think we need kid number 2.
Well, it wasn't like a quick decision, but my husband and I talked about it many times. He wanted another child, like 100% sure about it. I was not. I was like half and half, but I considered my work schedule and everything. But eventually, I decided to have a second child because I desperately wanted a girl, and I also wanted my first child to have a sibling. Yeah.
You know
Because I
what?
do have a younger sister, and she's my best friend. And yeah, I can't imagine my life without her.
See, me the other way. Me and my brother, our relationship is not all that great. But you know what really got us to? Because we were actually, I don't know if you know this. My wife and I were thinking about just one child.
Oh.
We were happy with Aaron. But we witnessed something that crushed our hearts.
Oh, what was that?
Aaron really he really liked kids, younger kids, and he was at the playground. He was with his classmate who has a younger brother. And Aaron went up to the friend's younger brother and say like, "Oh, 이쁘다," like 귀엽다, right? But his friend said, "This is my 동생.
Don't touch her.
Don't touch him."
Don't touch him.
And he said, "I really want a 동생, younger sibling."
Yes.
And I always tell Aaron, be careful what you wish for. Now you got a younger sister who bothers you all the
But
time.
I still believe that it's one of the best gifts that parents can give to your child. There are moments like when I see them holding hands together and giggling together, laughing together.
My daughter loves her brother.
Oh, those
my
small
goodness.
moments bring me an incredible sense of
absolutely.
happiness. Yeah, I can't really describe it with words, but
It's
so much happiness and joy.
There's a lot of sacrifice that goes in, right?
Yes,
But then,
yes.
it's those little joys that eventually you go. But then, you know what the other thing is, Haeyoung, is that
What?
we're happy with the situation, but we can't go to our friends and go, "How come you ain't getting no kids?" You know how how good it is to have.
should never say
you should never
that.
say that.
Yeah,
Right?
we should never say that.
We don't.
We don't.
Like, we're even more cautious with other people who either decide they don't want kids or because they could also want kids, but they can't. So we're always cautious with this. And I think we live in a society now where even relatives are cautious,
Right.
elders are cautious, friends around you, coworkers, they're all cautious.
Yeah, becoming a parent introduced me to a kind of love and joy that I never knew existed before. But I think I should never push other people to have children because it's their own decision and their life.
But I'll tell you this, I mean, just from and then you probably feel the same way with this.
I'm not going to give birth to a child on behalf of them, right? So, yeah, I should never push them.
But it's a good sort of scene.
Yes.
Even this weekend, my wife and I, our kids, we went to the mall together and them holding it. It's a great scene. And then you all go, okay, it was hard, but it's all worth it in the end. So
Right.
things that you need to think about, right?
You love your kids, right?
I do. I love my
Say
kids.
사랑해 on air
No.
to your kids.
No, I can't. It's just
사랑해.
no. I just can't. I just can't.
Oh, why not?
It's weird. Anyways, Haeyoung, thank you very much for this. Have a
thank
wonderful
you.
rest of your week, and we'll see you again next Tuesday.
Bye bye.
And sending around the studio, this is Mach 2. We're starting with you, 시작의 아이.